CAM, programming for CNC machines, and a couple of other guys working on the tools, preparing the tools for standard jobs. Yeah. So you will meet all of them. So we are working here. I have my schedule anywhere. It's on rollers. It's here. So when we design the kit, the first step is to select a type. So don't ask me how we do it. Because it is not so complicated, and it is a very intuitive process, because we usually find some good type, first line type, if possible fighter, which is just a couple of types actually. And we are finding something what is not so perfectly done, or we can, or type where we can be better than manufacturers producing it right now, which is very typical. Typical is MiG-21, when old Academy is really very old, quite simple. So we felt that it could be possible to be better. The same was Spitfire, and the same will be the other kits like MiG-15, 72nd scale, maybe quarter scale in future, and other new designs. And we will show you some new designs on the end of this speech. Yeah. So when our designer has our order or my order, what they have to do, they find the blueprints, pictures. We find a real example of the aircraft in a museum. We do a trip to the museum, so it was quite simple for MiG-15, for example. Where is MiG-15? Because there are enough MiG-15s in Czech museums, of course. Yeah. So we had very good occasion to study MiG-15 in Kubeli Air Force Museum, because we have very good relationship with the museum in Kubeli. So you can see, for example, Stanley's study of the wing MiG-15, because we have some dark points. We have always some dark point on the aircraft. Yeah. Because when we have the blueprints, and when we use the blueprints taken from magazines and from the open sources, it is usually not absolutely correct. And so, for example, this MiG-15 was absolutely animatic, because there was impossible to get any correct blueprint or any correct drawing. And Stanley, so, I forget. Meet Stanley. And Stanley Václav.
Hello.
They are our designers, and Stanley was head designer of MiG-15 project. So he spent a couple of weeks, maybe even months, to study real MiG-15, and he was correcting the drawings, not blueprints. Because you maybe know that the Czech drawings in 4+ publication have the wrong tail, absolutely wrong tail, and the other drawings have wrong nose. So, and other thing is the wing, because it is wrong everywhere. No one is indicated that MiG-15 has two different profiles on the wingspan, for example, which is doing the very characteristic bump on the leading edge. So you can find it on our model, probably not on the other model. The only other model who has this typical point on the wing is very old propaganda model created in the 50s by communist propaganda office. Yeah? It's very small and very expensive piece now, right now. Yeah? So, there we are. Yeah. The blueprints here. So, when we have the blueprints, when we have the shape of the model, then we have very basic shape. Yeah, when the measurement is taken, yeah, so you can see here on the screen, we are doing the design of our kit. Yeah, we are creating the shape, we are creating the parts, we split the parts, we separate the parts to parts, and we have to keep the technological things, technological points, as well as the shape points. To get example, how it could be complicated is this small part on the bottom of the vertical tail. You can see, ukaž mi ten malý špičínek tam, yeah, which is this one. Looks simple, right? Unfortunately, this was a really tough job, and it was taken the same time, actually, like the rest of the fuselage. So it's representing some few, maybe 3 weeks of the work. So this small part. You can find some critics later, which was immediately when he introduced the kit, one Czech reviewer was sure that this is wrong. It sometimes happens. No, Stanley is sure it is not wrong, so I trust him. So when the shape is ready, when the parts are ready, we have to do all the technological points, as I already said. We do all details, all surface details, panel lines, riveting, everything, in all standard. And on the end of the designer's job, we have to split it to the 2 parts of the tool. When it is ready, we pass the design to technology. The technological guys are preparing the, how to say, map of the tool. Yeah. So okay, come here.
No, sorry.
Just for a while. Okay? He must find a good location for each part. We are usually working that small parts are closer to the middle of the tool. Bigger parts are usually. Do you see it or no? So come here. Come here. There are a couple of regulations for this engineering. Yeah. So and it is quite important. For example, that small parts must be located as close as possible to the middle of the tool, because the flouting of the plastic is limited, and when you are far from the middle, from the injection point, it is colder, and it is running slower, so it is much tougher to get the complete pieces. Yeah. Other thing is that the tool must be balanced. Yeah. This is a little bit exceptional because it's not absolutely correctly balanced, because the correctly done tool has to be balanced by cross line. So this corner and that corner must be in balance, and that corners too. This tool is balanced in the horizontal axis, yeah? So it is balanced by the bottom and upper parts. So it is not absolutely standardly done, but the reason is that the tool is split to the 2 halves. which is anything that you will see later. Next, please. This is sorry. This is picture of the tools, where you can see the inserts of the tool, because sometimes not in all on all tools we are working with inserts when we do that small insert separately, and we snap all the parts together in a big tool. You see what? This is also a little bit unexpected, unusual, because normally we have less inserts than on this tool. It gives us some advantages to split it. For example, we can prepare all the parts, more complicated parts separately, and it's easier for manipulation, moving, and everything. But it is a little bit tough when we are running the tool, because it is sometimes a little bit wild when we have too many inserts inside. So, next one. Yeah. So you can see all the parts. The green parts are all done by electroabrasive method. When we use that electroabrasive machine, you already saw it, and we will saw it again, see it again. And the reason to use this method is when we have the panel lines and riveting, it is impossible to do it by direct milling. So it is necessary to use the electroabrasive method. And you can see that for the MiG 15 specifically, we have a lot of electrodes for this tooling. So maybe a couple of tens, small and bigger electrodes on the tooling.